First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming. Some of you came great distances, and I'm very, very appreciative, and I'm humbled with your presence. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and recognize the young lady over to my left with the camera videoing. She is the next commissioner for District 2 in the city of Griffin.
Right.
Mrs. Rose Curtis.
Yes.
And she is remarkable. She did not have anyone else to challenge her because they knew they were going to have a tough job. And this is her first year. She's going to be a first year commissioner. So that tells me she could have easily just sat back. Early voting begins Monday. Go down there and cast her vote and go back home and, if they say, and chill. But no, she has been out with me for the last month campaigning, identifying her campaign with our campaign. And I look forward, with the help of God, with the help of Allah Most High, joining her and those other 5 commissioners to help make Griffin the best that she can be.
Yes.
You know, it makes me think about a few things. Here, my mind is just all over the place. A lot of you gonna know where I'm coming from. There's a need for leadership.
Yes.
There's a need for leadership here in this community, in all communities.
Yes.
But we're talking about Griffin, Georgia right now. There's a need for leadership, and I think that I've been primed, I've been tested to step forward in that role. In our community, all of those years of development, the baby is ready to be born. And what are we gonna do? We said we're gonna remake the world. And I've been telling these constituents, potential constituents, and the people here in this community for over 4 years, because we ran 4 years ago. And the beautiful thing about it, the message didn't have to change. We're gonna remake Griffin. We're gonna remake Griffin so that she can be a model community for other communities throughout these United States.
Yes.
That is what we see. We see opportunities there for everybody. It may not show up in the pigmentation today, but trust me, we're representing all of Griffin.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people are shamed, you know, a little, not shamed, shy, that's the word. They are shy, they don't want to come out and say certain things, but they are telling me in no uncertain terms, unsolicited, you have my vote. Here in this town, when you live on the south side, unlike Chicago, on the south side, that is historically your more affluent community. People from the south side are telling me, you got my vote.
Okay.
We had 4 years last time, didn't see much difference. Time to change. Time to make a change. Trying to unhitch that horse and put this race horse to that wagon. And let's go to work. And that is what we see. It is inspiring that when I go amongst the young people, you know, it used to be a time when the big cities, that's where you heard about the gangs. Now you got these little towns, little hamlets, Griffin, Barnesville, Jackson, Fayetteville, all these little towns, Jonesboro, Hampton, you know, so we got gang problems. A gentleman told me years ago, I was in the building trade, well, still am. And he said something I never forget. He said, well, you gotta keep them busy. Cause busy hand ain't got time to get in no trouble. Keep them busy. Busy hand, working hands.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we want to do. We want to inspire our people here in this community become homeowners. It's sad to say, but many of our residents, especially of African American descent, they've been renting the same house, and I'm not exaggerating, going on 3 generations. And I would say, won't you all buy it? I don't want to buy this old raggedy place. But brother, you've been here 40 years. You've been living here 40 years. Your grandmother was here. Your mother is here now. And you're here. Why not get some of this earth?
Yes.
We all remember that message.
Yes.
And it's so true today. We need to get something we can call our own. That's what we have to do. We have to inspire them. It was something I was talking to some of my supporters about. Here in the city of Griffin, they took something from Peachtree City. You know Peachtree City,
yes,
Georgia?
yes.
They got golf carts that just ride all over the place. They got golf paths. Well, believe it or not, several years ago, Griffin adopted something very similar. In Griffin, not on state roads, but you can ride around here in golf carts. On these city and county roads, you can ride around in the city of Griffin in golf carts. And I was talking to some young African American men recently, and I was telling them, I said, you know, you can start a job like that? They said, how? I said, let's go and invest in a few of these golf carts. Get the 4-passenger, the 6-passenger. I said, then all of you got cell phones. I said, then let's go around and let the people know. Here's my number. You need a ride to the grocery store? I said, all of a sudden, you're Uber without being Uber. And I said, you don't have to have a driver's license to operate these golf carts. I said, because some of you are disqualified for a license. But now we've gotten around that. And the other brother said, and get the kind that you put sides on, so when the weather changes and it's raining. But that's what I shared with them. And that pride picked up. I said, I didn't think about that. I said, we can do it legal too. I said, my cousin and I over here, let's form an LLC. I said, y'all put y'all name on it. Y'all call y'all the East Side Boys? Okay. East Side Boys, LLC. And then you can carry the seniors to the grocery stores. In the neighborhood. They get your number. They got a ride. Because we have no public transportation here. That was one example. I said, let's get 15-passenger vans. There are a lot of jobs 10 miles from here, 10, 15 minutes away in McDonald's, those big boxes over there. And they always have signs out, need help, help wanted. Apply within, apply online. I said, you all need to be able to get to the jobs. I said, do like I remember years ago what they did here in Griffin. Once upon a time, Atlanta was a major center when it came to automakers. Lakewood plant, trucks. Doraville, B.O.P., Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Doraville, cars. Ford, right there in Hateville. But guess what they did in Griffin? They had vans. A lot of those UAW workers, they just got me driving around with it. They were all piling multiple vans, and they would go to work together. It was a lot more economical, and they made good money, and that's what they did. I said, we can borrow from them, young men. You all can go and find, I said, as your mayor, I would make it incumbent upon myself to go and speak to those leaders in those industries there and say, you looking for workers? I said, we have some here in Griffin, Georgia. They just need a way to get here. If we put together a mechanism and based on your shifts, would you work with us? And I believe they would. I really believe they would. And there are thousands of jobs there to help our people and anybody here in Griffin that's looking for a job. Those were just a couple examples I gave them. And there's many others thinking outside of the box. We have to be creative. Many of you here, we know our background, where we take little and make a lot of it, out of it. That's what we do. And in the spirit of our forefathers, in the spirit of our faith, Well, it was under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, God forgive him his sin, grant him paradise. His son, Imam Warzadeh Muhammad, that really shot us up into the stratosphere.
Yes, sir.
And we still moving. Warp speed. Approaching light speed. This is an exciting day, brothers and sisters. Dear beloved people, this is an exciting day for us. Here's an opportunity for us to make Griffin the shining star it used to be. Many, many years ago, over half a century ago, you had Atlanta, you had Macon. And did you know Griffin was the spot between those two? But the lack of leadership, the lack of vision,
Yes, sir.
and not being inclusive, everything grew up around her. She was no longer a power center, and every little hamlet around her have grown up and surpassed her. But guess what? She's still here.
Yes, sir.
For some of you, you may have never been to Griffin before, but you can see, this is really a little city. You know, most of the towns around the metro area, they got a main street, a courthouse square. But this city is laid out on a grid. A guy named General Lawrence Griffin, he laid this city out. It's the history of this city. And he was planning ahead. He knew two railroads were going to merge, and he envisioned the merging was going to be right here. But he was off about 30 some odd miles. It actually came together downtown Atlanta, where underground Atlanta is, at Alabama Street. That's where it came together. Terminus, that was the name. They was Marthasville. And now, to be the beautiful, glorious city that we all love, Atlanta, Georgia. That was the beginning of Atlanta, and that's the relationship that Griffin has with Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
I love Atlanta. I hear people out there, man, I went there. I said, man, I love it. I know I'm running for mayor in Griffin, but I love it. You know why I love it? Because Atlanta, Georgia, and its mayor at that time, Maynard Holbrook Jackson Jr., they created an atmosphere, an environment to encourage people like myself, my cousin Brother Yusuf right here, to go out and go in business as contractors. And he paid a price for it, because once he left office, he couldn't get a job in Atlanta as a lawyer. They punished him for that. But one time, when they built the airport where it's at now, that was the largest government project that was going on in the United States back in the late 1970s, early 80s. It accounted for over 90% of all the federal dollars that was spent for African American businesses. And because of that, that's why I always want Atlanta to do well. I can make my living there. I'm gonna get me another place there, but I'm gonna stay here in Griffin. And that's why I got my dean, Atlanta, Georgia. That's where Islam was introduced to me. That being said, once again, thank you all so much for coming down today and sharing with us. My supporters and others, we're gonna go out. We've been canvassing the last 3+ weeks all over the city. We're gonna do it again today. And the ironic thing is, this little park right here, about 10 years ago, I joined a little organization called the Main Street Advisory Board. And then there was a mass exodus, and the young lady, African-American lady, Kira Harris Bragg, she asked me would I stay on. Here, I got other things done. She said, Daa'ood, if you leave, I won't have anybody, not anyone that has been on the board. She convinced me to stay, and she had such a sincerity in her voice, in her eyes. I did. And once I stayed, and then she informed me the thing that we could do, we developed this little park right here. We did this. It was just a piece of dirt. The county was gonna make a parking lot out of it. We went before the Board of Commissioners, the city and the county, to ask them, let us have this. And we developed this park.
That's wonderful.
Alhamdulillah. This pavilion here, I went to a local architectural firm, Manley Spangler and Smith. They designed this, told us that they did all the calculations, and they did it what they call pro bono, no fees.
Yes, sir.
I went before the county and said, we need money. They said, where's my? I said, you can use your hotel motel dollars. They wasn't aware. They always wanted to use it to buy fireworks, which was illegal. But that's all they knew. Cure enlightenment. We did that. We got them to say, it was $40,000 first time. Went back, got 20 more thousand. Got the public works for the county. Convinced the commissioners. What did they do? Got the public works director came out and they did the work. Park and Rec laid the sod. Say the Griffin has power. Griffin power.
Yes, sir.
Got the city say, we're going to give you the power here for in perpetuity. You don't have to worry about electric bill and water. That's what happened.
Thank you.
That's the kind of work that I was a part of, and I plan on continuing as the mayor.
Yes, sir.
That piece of property across the street is saying they may use it as a conference center, but we was going to put a park over there. Part of it belonged to the city, part belonged to the county, and there was a road there. Yours truly, with the help of Allah, convinced them all, got them all to work together. And they combined it, grasped it. That's why it's available now. So I had a history of working with people in office from all spectrum, all facets, different walks of life. African American, Caucasian, European American, whatever you want to call it. Hispanics, all of them. Male, female, whatever gender. It's about the work and offering a quality of life for people. So I can say that there are people in the spirit of our late leader, who still is our leader. He's here just as live and kicking. Amen, Walter D. Muhammad. He just inspired me and many of us to just go out, step out, be bigger than yourself, believe in something bigger than yourself.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just excited about it.
We are too,
I
brother.
hope, and with the help of God the Most High, that we are successful. Early voting here began Monday, right through November the 3rd. Election day is November 7th. My friend, Mr. Kendall, out of Atlanta, attorney, grew up here in Griffin. He sent that band down to me this morning, unsolicited. Just sent him a couple of documents that you can see it. According to Yusuf, he said he ready to ride through the neighborhood with us when we leave here this morning.
Yes.
So we're just thankful. Brother Imam Fukan, Brother Imam Nuruddin. What are the other imams here? Any other imam? Imam William, give me the whole name.
William Safir.
I just talked to my brother here, Brother Imam William Safir. Alhamdulillah. We thank you for coming down and being with us. With God's help, we're successful to come back when we get sworn in. And when we host major events,
Yes, sir.
maybe inshallah, iftar
Yes,
in
sir.
2024.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. So once again, thank you very much for coming. May God bless each and every one of you on your return trip home. Enjoy the rest of your day. We didn't hold you long. Thank you again and again, and we're grateful. Sister Audrey out of Jackson, I will be from Griffin because she's over here all the time. She's a tremendous supporter. Once again, her colleague here, a close friend and buddy, Sister Rose Curtis, Commissioner, District 2. And matter of fact, her district is a historic district. Her district is what they call Fairmont. Fairmont is the area where, I think it was 1929, the city fathers of Griffin having an auction. It was posted in the Griffin Daily News, 1929. Said, people of Abyssinian descent, we have a earmarked area bounded by 3rd Street, Tinsley, I think Jefferson, 4th Street. Anyway, only people could bid on those lots was the people that have Abyssinian descent. And that's where it was written up in 1929, almost a century ago. And there are a few families that still own the property there. That is what her district encompasses. And we want to mark that. That's a historic area. We want to make a nice monumental sign up. And right now the city and the county is in the works of opening up an African American museum there in a building they call Rosenwald Schools. Griffin had a historic Rosenwald school. And ours was much better than a lot of others. You know why? They are built out of masonry, brick. A lot of them are wooden structures. And they mostly had 2 rooms and maybe 4. Griffin had 6 rooms.
Yes, sir.
And there's also the home of what they call equalization schools. Separate but equal, you recall?
Yes, yes.
Brown board of education, all of that. So we got both of those facilities on the same campus. That's what we're looking at, restoring that. Yusuf and I, we own properties over there. We are reinvesting in that area. We're encouraging all our people in that area that own property, don't sell. Hold on to it. We're going to rebuild Griffin. We're going to remake Griffin. Thank you very much. Peace be unto you.
Alhamdulillah. Great. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. God is great. God is great. God is great. Absolutely. Beautiful.